Let's say we want to add a custom item to the context menu for text files using C++. Where do we begin? Well, let's start by learning a little bit about Explorer. So Explorer, this thing right here, checks a couple lists when you right-click on a file. It checks those lists to see if there's anything special that it should add to the context menu. And so I can show you all of those lists. They are here in the registry. So the very first place that Explorer will check is under this key, or in this key. So take a good look at it. And we want this extension to be for text files, so this is where we will look, and we're going to look for a key called user choice. If there is a user choice key, we will look for this value here, prog ID, and it will contain the name of another key, and this other key, we are going to look for it. But let's say, because it's very possible that there is no user choice key, in that case, File Explorer will look. Where will it look? It will look in Software, Classes, right here, where you see a whole bunch of other extensions listed. And if there is no .txt here either, we'll then look under this key, Software, where is it? Classes, there we go. And then we will see a lot more extensions listed. So we'll look for .txt, and of course, there it is. This key will also point to a different key using its default value here. So this one points to notepad++ underscore file. Okay, but we're going to ignore that for now, since if we remember, there was a user choice key here with a valid prog ID. So instead of going to the notepad underscore file key, we're going to go to this key, txt file, and the first place it's going to look for that is, here we go, classes, and we're going to look for a txt file, and it's not here. So again, we'll go down a level from current user to local machine, and then we're going to look for txt file here, and spoilers, it is here, so let's go find it. QRST, there it is, text file. And so the first list, we can finally look at it. It's under the shell X key, and it's called context menu handlers. So we open that up, and here are the special things that Explorer should load when it's loading a context menu. So we'll pay attention to this one. When we click on it, we see a GUID here, and what Explorer will do with this is it will look it up again in the registry. And the GUIDs are located, well, first, as always, we're going to check in the current user key, and we're going to check in classes, follow the key down here. Okay, we're going to check in classes here under the CLSID key. And I just happen to know already that the key that we saw for the file extension isn't here. So if the key isn't there, we're going to go down to HKey local machine and also look into this CLSID folder in here. Let's go find it. CLSID should be, there it is. All right. And if we were looking carefully, we would know that the key was FC2, FC2, here it is. Okay, so then we open that up and we go to the improc server 32 key, and that will point to a DLL. And so once Explorer finds this DLL, it will ask the DLL, it will query the DLL, it'll say, are you in fact the DLL identified by this GUID FC2E5, so on and so on. And if that's correct, then and also the code in the DLL is right, then the item that you want to add will be added to the context menu. Okay, so back to our original goal. If we want to use C++ to add our own custom item to the context menu, we need to make a DLL, and we have to create entries in the registry that ultimately point to it.